Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I hope that you're having an amazing day wherever you are in the world. And today I'm coming at you from the somewhat messy floor of my home studio. And we're going to be discussing why sketchbooks are such an important part of an artist's journey. And I'm also going to be sharing some tips so that you can get the most out of them. If you're new here, consider subscribing because every single Friday I share a video about art tips, tutorials about drawing or painting, and living life as an artist. My name is Erica and I'm a traditional media illustrator, art blogger, and teaching artist that not only loves creating art but also loves helping and encouraging other artists out there. I have a website at ericalancaster.com in which I share a lot of free resources that you can go check out. Alright, so while I talk about sketchbooks and why they are so important, I thought that I would share some pages from my own sketchbooks. So you're going to be seeing drawings and little painting studies that I have done in the last few months. I hope that you enjoy and that you get something out of the video, and let's get into it! So before actually getting into the points about sketchbooks and why they are so important, I just want to take a very quick moment and admit the fact that it wasn't really until around 3 years ago that I started really getting into filling out my sketchbooks regularly and putting emphasis or giving importance to really using them in order to improve artistically. Before I started using sketchbooks, I created my drawings and explorations on regular pieces of paper that probably got damaged or lost, and I don't even know where they are anymore. If you have been to my website or maybe seen my YouTube trailer by now, you probably already know that it wasn't until a few months ago that I decided to finally quit my full-time job to start my online business. So before that, I had very little to no time to devote to my own personal artistic progress because I was working full-time and giving painting classes after my full-time job. So I rarely had time to devote to my own artwork. So even though you could say that I've always been creative and I studied something very creative, I went to school for graphic design, and then after that I worked as graphic designer, and after that I worked for many years as art teacher. It's one thing to work in a creative project to fulfill a client's needs and also to help out students develop their own artistic skills through drawing and painting, and it's quite another for myself to develop my own artistic skill and my own artistic voice. When I decided to finally give time to my own artistic progress and I made time to start creating explorations and studies on my own in my sketchbooks, is when I really started to see my own progress. And this is why I personally love sketchbooks so much. So let's move on to 5 reasons why sketchbooks are so incredibly important in an artist's journey. Reason number 1 is that they are a chronological record of your progress. If you ever feel unmotivated with your art or need proof of your progress, all you have to do is take out a sketchbook and see how far you've come. You can also use sketchbooks to study your own style evolution throughout the years and also find patterns in your work that can lead you to discover your artistic style. Point number 2 is that sketchbooks protect your work for you. So if you're generally a disorganized person or simply very busy with a full-time job and everything else you have going on, it's very easy to lose those drawings and sketches that you create. Not to mention, you can also damage them very easily, and it's important to keep your work protected. And a sketchbook does these things for you. Point number 3 is that sketchbooks are portable. As artists, it's very important to have the tools we need with us at all times, even when we're out of our studios. Carrying a small sketchbook with you ensures that you're going to be able to create those quick studies whenever you need to. And also, if you don't want to carry a sketchbook with you, another option is at least carrying some kind of idea notebook so that you can jot down whatever comes up in your mind and you don't lose those ideas for future projects. Not to mention, if you're a very busy person and all of a sudden you have a moment in your day in which you have an extra 5 minutes, you can simply take out your sketchbook and progress artistically, at least in a small way. Point number 4 is that sketchbooks provide us with an informal, no-pressure way of exploring. I've already talked about before how exploration is so incredibly important in art. As artists, we should fall in love with the process of exploration, and keeping a sketchbook is a great way to do this. Even if you're not into the habit of creating a visual journal per se, a sketchbook is basically a recording of your progress and your inner workings. They are incredibly personal and perhaps even more important than the finalized pieces an artist produces. They remind us to keep exploring, to be ourselves, and to embrace imperfection. And point number 5 is that a sketchbook reminds us to keep going. As with any other area that you want to improve in life, it's all about consistency and taking small steps until you get to the point that you want to be at. A sketchbook is a great friend that is going to provide a gentle reminder for you to continue filling out those pages, and by the time you get to the end and fill it out, you're going to be so proud of your progress, and you're going to want to get another one and another one. Your observational skills and your drawing skills and your self-confidence as an artist all progress as you fill out a sketchbook. Okay everyone, so now I'm going to give you a few key tips that are going to help you get the most out of your sketchbooks. Tip number 1 is going to be to write the date that you buy your sketchbook inside of the front cover. This is going to provide you with an organized record of your improvement throughout the years. Tip number 2 is going to be to carry it everywhere. Personally, I like to keep larger sketchbooks at my studio, and I also buy smaller sketchbooks that I'm able to take out with me. This is going to vary depending on your own personal tastes, but I really recommend that you have at least some sort of idea notebook with you wherever you go. Tip number 3 is going to be to give some thought to the supplies and art mediums that you're planning to use in your sketchbook before you buy it. If you're very much into water-soluble media like watercolors, or maybe you like to use markers or stuff like that, just make sure that you buy an appropriate sketchbook. Tip number 4 is to actually write in your sketchbook. Personally, I like revisiting old drawings or explorations and taking a moment to observe it and jot down things that I could have done better so that I can make sure not to do them next time. You can also write your own personal thoughts or feelings about a particular piece that came up while you were working, because as I said before, all of these explorations and sketchbook works are a very important part of you discovering yourself as an artist. And my final tip is to never fear the blank page or a new sketchbook. So I have talked about how perfectionism and fear of failure are just terrible for an artist. They are the total enemy of creativity. And this is something that you want to stay away from. You want to relax and enjoy the process of exploration. You have to put in your mind that you aren't ruining absolutely anything. A sketchbook is your personal space, and you don't really have to share it with anyone if you don't want to, so feel free to explore and make mistakes. In the description section below this video, I am going to leave you a link to the blog post that I wrote directly related to this video. And in this blog post, you're going to be able to find a 30-day sketchbook challenge that I designed myself that is intended for people looking to become more consistent in their sketchbook practice and just exercise those creativity muscles more consistently. So do make sure to check that out and become part of my insider group over at my website by clicking on the 30-day sketchbook challenge, and you'll be receiving that immediately at your inbox. We're often told that the journey is more important than the destination, and I would really love to know in the comment section below what you consider more valuable as an artist. If you consider more valuable the final piece or the process and the studies and the explorations that it took you to get there. I'm really interested in knowing what you think about that, so do leave a comment below. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it, subscribe to my channel, and click on that little notification bell so that you can know when I publish a video, and see you next week. Bye!